Okay, by 7:20. Is anybody out there trying to see if this is actually working? How about positive? Hmm. I feel like this may not be going. Three people are watching. Hello. I'm trying to figure this out. And so the key thing is I want to be able to hear from you. And what I might have to do is if anybody can chat, I'm not sure if I'm seeing anything. Let me see. Hello. If anybody can write back, that'll tell me whether I'm actually able to interact with y'all, which would be nice. I yeah, I'm just deciding to go live this evening for a little bit. It's partly to try to see if I can get this tech to work again, and I'm not positive if it is. uh, so you'll have to say hello if anybody's out there. Anybody out there? I think, yeah, I don't, I'm just checking some settings here. And yeah, I think this isn't going to really work. I think I'm going to quit out of system preferences. Hello, Denise. Oh, good. I can interact. Hello, Denise. How are you? I'm trying some kind of advanced tech things and just seeing how this can go. Because yeah, I'm just trying some stuff, Denise, and then I'm gonna focus in here in a minute, and and yeah, I think I'm recording with that. I'm gonna put this away, and now I think I can. I need to keep this up, and I need to keep this over here, and I think I can get rid of this. I can put that over there. I've got a lot of windows here, Denise. I've got a lot of windows open because I'm trying to do. Oh, I'm glad you're happy that I'm live. How are you doing, Denise? Let's see. Trying to figure out the best way to do this. I'm trying to record my screen while doing this, and I feel like it's a little bit advanced. So I'm gonna see how I can do this with that, and then I can have the chat here. How many people are out there? I was saying earlier, there's 4 people out there. I'm thinking of talking a little bit about astrology and um, maybe drawing a few tarot cards and just hanging out a little bit. I don't know how long I'm going to stay on. This is kind of I did one of these a couple weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago now. Oh, I can do that. Now what happens if I do this? I need to, oh, I know what I gotta do, Denise. Can I bring this over? That's not really what I want to do. Can I go like this? Oh my God, Denise. Are you tech person, Denise? Are you a tech person, Denise? I'm wondering if you can understand what I'm trying to do here. It's just, I don't know. Sometimes I just like playing around to see if I can get things to work that have, I don't know, just trying things, you know? Just trying new things to honor Uranus, god of technology. What I'm doing here is I'm kind of looking at my screen and I'm recording some elements on my screen in case I look at the chart for now. Trying to figure out the best way to do this. Maybe like that. Then I can do this. I need to bring it over a little bit more. A little bit more. Trying to get my console. My spaceship console. Where all my tech is, my navigation equipment. I'm trying to get it set up on the screen so I can look at the chart for now. And it's almost sunset. And here in San Francisco, it's almost sunset. Don't know what time of day it is wherever you all are. My sound is good, thank you. That's great. You just know enough tech to get by. Yeah, well, that's all you need. You just really need to know enough to get by. And it's interesting trying to stay on that growth edge because there's a kind of reward for learning new tech because it can make life more interesting sometimes, more fun tech. And I have always enjoyed, well, let's see. I have complex feelings about technology. I think I should say that. I have a very strong natal Uranus in my chart. I'm born in the 60s, so I have a Pluto-Uranus conjunction, born in 69. And that has, the way in which just technology and science exploded in the 1960s. The internet being born in 69 within a couple months of my birth. And so I feel this real intimacy with technology, and I've always been super fascinated by technology. And yeah, I think I've just been reflecting on this quite a bit this last couple of weeks with so much Uranus energy happening. Oh, look what the first card is. It's the sun, it's the sun, it's the sun, it's the sun. The sun is setting, but I was about to say this last couple weeks that the sun has been conjunct Uranus, sun and Mercury conjunct Uranus. And it's just kind of separating right now. Like the sun is about 9.5 degrees past Uranus. About 9.5 degrees past Uranus. And Mercury is 12 degrees past Uranus. And so they're both moving away. It's really the Earth that's moving in terms of its perspective of the Sun and Mercury and Uranus. But from our perspective, Uranus is not as close to the Sun and Mercury. It's moving off. And so its energy has been really strong the last couple of weeks, but now it's kind of just maybe shifting a little bit in this one sense of this kind of short-term couple-week transit. These are conjunction portals as I would see them. Any time two planets conjoin, it's the beginning of a new cycle of time. It's the end of a cycle of time and the beginning of a new cycle of time. And there are 45 different cycles of time that I focus on, involving the conjunctions of the 10 major planetary bodies that I focus on in my particular system of astrology, my language of astrology. And I think we each, anyone that works with astrology over the course of time, over the course of a lifetime, we have our own very personal form of astrology that evolves and matures and changes over time. And so when you're first starting to integrate astrology into your worldview, you know, the language is maybe less complex. Maybe it's just you integrate the language of the 12 signs of the zodiac. And then so you maybe just understand your sun sign. And then the next move is you understand your moon sign often and your rising sign. And then often after that, for many people, as they move into astrology, they might integrate more of the house system, the divisions of the sky into pie slices. And when planets are in those pie slices, astrologers give them unique meaning depending on what part of the sky or the hidden sky those planets might be in. And then the next level, I would say, is when you start to work with the cycles and seasons of the relationships of the planets to each other. And people have different numbers of planets. Planets are just the wanderers of the sky. That's what the word in, I think, Greek, what it means in Greek, wanderer means, or I should say planet means wanderer. The lights that move in ways that sometimes are unexpected, surprising, against the backdrop of the fixed stars. And so for me, I was aware of the signs, and then the next thing that I was aware of was, I would say, the lunar cycle. So one of the cycles of time, the 45 cycles of time, where you look at the relationship, the dance between two of the 10 planets. You take 10 planets and combine them with each other. There's 45 combinations or permutations. And they all move through the same cycle that the lunar cycle does. The new moon phase, the full moon phase, and the intermediating half moon phases. The what we call the squares, the 90-degree aspect relationships. Anyway, this is a little bit of a diversion to just kind of, I don't know, I kind of want to explain to anybody that's following my YouTube channel, my subscribers. I guess it's important for me to kind of introduce my uniqueness, my astrological uniqueness, and it's different than other astrologers. So I focus on especially the 10 planets and their 10 cycles of time, or I should say their 45 cycles of time in their dances with each other. And oh, look who came. The Knight of Swords. I love this Knight of Swords. To figure out these are shiny. I'm not sure the best lighting for these. How should it be? Like this? No, maybe. Well, that's not bad. What's the best way? Like that, I think. You see that knight riding a flying owl? That's a very Mars image. And recently we've just come out of this incredible Mars alignment. We've just moved out of it in the last I guess it's been a couple weeks. Has it been 2 weeks? I'm trying to remember. I want to look at something here because right now it's the full moon, and yeah, basically a week from now. What's this, Wednesday? I think it's next like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday is one thing I just really want to invite everybody to be aware of. But before I do that, what was I thinking? Okay. Yeah, I guess I'm looking at where Mars is right now. It's 25 degrees past Saturn, 24 degrees. 24 degrees past Saturn. And it's really kind of significantly off. But let's see. Just going back a few, I would go back to where, I don't know, April 24th. April 24th. I mean, for me, the last really big alignment that I focused on in videos for my channel was the last, I was calling it the Return of the Council of Elders portal, super portal, where for the last time, we're not going to have an alignment like this for another 1,000 years, where 5 of the visible lights in the sky come together within 20 degrees of each other. And it was actually within like 17 degrees when the moon conjoined Pluto and Jupiter and Saturn and Mars. This was around the 15th, so what is that? I guess it's 2 weeks ago, and yeah, almost 3 weeks ago, about 3 weeks ago now. About 3 weeks ago, I went out, and it was absolutely one of, maybe, I think it probably was the most special experience I've had of being with the night sky. And as an astrologer, I've had many amazing experiences of communing with the night sky. It's, part of my professional level of interest. And so I've been very much communing with the sky for 30 years, and yet more and more so at in these recent years. And whether it's watching the solar eclipse in, was it 2017? The eclipse that August, that amazing eclipse. That was definitely one of my peak experiences. There's been some lunar eclipses that have just been spectacular, but then I remember the Hale-Bopp comet in 1997. That was just such a special experience. I remember a couple of other solar eclipses that were just had huge impact on me. But then, yeah, regularly Moon-Venus conjunctions and Jupiter-Venus conjunctions that stand out, especially Moon-Jupiter, Moon-Venus, and sometimes the three together. Those have been really special moments of being with the sky and with my astrological practice, because it's like you are with something really special in the sky, and then you also have a particular like spiritual connection with the planets that's like really deep in terms of divinatory practice, in terms of meditation, regular, a kind of regular reaching out to be in relationship with the planets. I think that is what astrology is about. It's an intentional extension of yourself into relationality with the solar system, with the individual planets, and also like in reflection upon humanity's poetic associations with the planets, the poetic meanings that different cultures have brought to the planets, the stories, the myths that are connected. And yeah, just reflecting on what did the Native Americans, the different tribes, what were their connections with the planets and the stars? What are the stories of the Native American peoples of the North American continent? Very, very amazing to reflect on how the original peoples of this continent, what their relationships were with the constellations and the planets and the fixed star systems. And and so yeah, it's like you're taking in the cultural history and lineage, and then with astrology we're really taking in a lot of the modern relationships with the planets, like in terms of the history of astrology. A lot of astrologers have integrated the history of psychology and depth psychology and mythology into our practice. And so we're very engaged with depth psychologists and um, people have who are teaching a kind of more modern strain of astrology. But then there's lots of astrologers that are focusing on, say, like medieval practice or um, uh, the the ancient practices of Greece, or what was astrology like in the Renaissance, you know. And so there's so many different languages of astrology is my point here. Long way to get here. This is kind of just the opening of our time together. Um, but yeah, ultimately for me, what I've been learning is that we find and create our own language, our own love language with the sky. And we start perhaps with the meanings that we take in from the tradition, from astrologers that we might study with. But ultimately, it's about developing your own unique intimacy, your own unique language, your own unique divinatory tools, your own unique medicine bag with regard to your relationship with the sky. And so, yes, this alignment here, this one that happened 3 weeks ago, and also 4 weeks before that, because there was a moon conjunct Pluto, Jupiter, Saturn, and Mars that was even tighter than the one 3 weeks ago. And it just feels like one giant portal for me. Like I feel like I'm just popping out of what has been obviously for all of us a really extreme experience. And it's an ongoing, very extreme experience. And yes, this is your captain speaking, letting you know that we've, as far as I see it, we have moved through the Dragon Rider portal. It's still happening, but the most intense part of it, I feel, not that there can't be more intensity to it, but it's like when I talked about earlier this year that 2020 is the year of the Dragon Rider portal, I definitely saw that as the full year, the Jupiter, Saturn, Pluto triple conjunction. It's basically, started to really kick in February. Probably could argue that it started at the end of last year and definitely was coming in January. But by February, the Dragon Rider portal was open. But what happened during this period from about March, I don't know, I'm just going to say it right now, March 15th to April 25th, let's say. Let's just say it's about a particularly potent 5 week period. So, yeah, mid March to the end of April, basically. And the fact that Mars was in a quadruple conjunction with Jupiter, Saturn, and Pluto, the first time for 700 years, and it won't happen like that for another 1,000 years, that was lining up, when I saw that particular 5, 6 week period, it's like in my imagination, I was like, that's it. And in my earlier videos, it was like, this is the climb to base camp. This is really, I think if I were to articulate it now, I would say it's like we really navigated intensely into a new era, and that was the eye of the needle of entering into like a massive new timeline for humanity, massive new timeline for planet Earth, and we've moved through that portal. Portals are gates. Portals are gates that enter onto important, powerful, significant new timelines. And so this is like such an epic portal that happened in terms of the planetary alignments. But obviously, it's correlated with the global pandemic. And, um, it was happening before this period, but what has turned out to be the nation on earth that ultimately at this point has been most impacted by at least the numbers of cases and the numbers of deaths. Um, it's corresponded to the federal state of emergency in the United States of America and the basically total shutdown of the country and everybody being instructed to shelter in place during precisely these weeks. And so I'll be unpacking more of like how, I mean, my videos that I released during these few weeks, I think, do kind of address lots of ways in which the energy has come through. But I think there's now a kind of integration process that astrology can help us with. It's going to be an ongoing process, obviously, and clearly this we're just still very much in the thick of it. And yet there is a shift that's palpable for me because the federal state of emergency has ended and certain openings are happening, whether that's wise or not. There's a shift in the collective energy. And so it does feel like there's a little bit of a pause in terms of what's happening here in California. We've been we're like the seventh largest economy on planet Earth, and we've done pretty well in terms of, well, it depends on how you judge how, by what standards you judge the situation. And so, in terms of numbers of cases and loss of life, California has done fairly well, and there's a sense of, okay, we did what we intended, and now there's a sense of, okay, we're going to probably start to loosen things a little bit. And so Mars has moved off, and there's been a kind of loosening of what, like Mars Saturn can be the feeling of being hit hard. And with Pluto, it's just like an extremely intense experience of something hitting you, and even like a feeling of being crushed. And, Saturn sets up barriers and punishments, and it has to do with isolation and illness and that sense of just everybody in total separation from each other. That's Saturn with Pluto bringing an extreme to it, and Mars just bringing an especially strong, aggressive form of it. And then Jupiter brings the kind of global scale of it. And so, yes, taking a look at the text here, see if anything's here. Is anybody out there? Just a couple people. It's quiet out there, so maybe this is just a kind of tech check. Does anybody have a question or comment on all that? I'm realizing I didn't bring water. I gotta go get some water. I'm wondering if the message went out to people well. Okay, I'm going to go get some water and I'll be right back. Anybody want a card? I'm going to shuffle some cards here for a minute. Look what came. This is our second card. We got the sun and dragonfly, dragonfly, dragonfly. Dragonflies are the coolest. They're definitely one of the top 3 most awesome insects in my opinion. One of the top 3 most excellent insects in my opinion. Look at this little guy. Who likes dragonflies? Anybody? Anybody a fan of dragonflies out there? The thing about dragonflies is they hover. They can move really fast and they hover. So they can actually make good decisions. They can be kind of just hanging out, chilling, checking everything out, and then they see where they need to go. And they do it quick, but they can stand still as long as they need to. Hi there. Rainy Daisy? Rainy days? Is that it? I recognize you. Are you courageous? You courageous? You courageous person, Rainy Daisy? I feel like you left a comment once. Hi. Hi there. How you doing? Kelly! Hi! Oh my god, Kelly's on chat. How you doing, Kelly? I'm just trying a YouTube live stream here. This is my second one. Might be my third one. I feel like I did one a few years ago, but I did one like 3 weeks ago. I did it when I wanted to make sure everybody knew about the second of these Moon, Jupiter, Saturn, Pluto, Mars 5 planet conjunctions that just happened. The second one, there were 2. The first one around April 14th. Is that right? Or no, it was the month before. Around mid-March and mid-April, the moon came onto it. And yeah, it's not going to happen again for another 1,000 years. So it was like super special to connect with it, to see it, to create I created a few videos on it. And it's like we came through this incredibly rare alignment. It happened to correspond to one of the most extreme 6-week periods in the United States history and global history as well. And here we are in a new world. Here we are in a new world. What's up, Kelly? I'm just hanging out with my YouTube subscribers, Kelly, and testing out technology here, because my intention, my vision for my YouTube channel, which thank you to any new subscribers out there. I'm super grateful to have you on board. I'm excited about the channel. I'm excited about where things can go from here. We've had over 300 new subscribers in the last 7 months or so. And we're approaching 1,000 subscribers, and I'm really excited about that because new tech possibilities open up after 1,000 subscribers. Different kinds of options emerge, and so I'm excited about moving towards that. And this is one thing that I think is going to be easier once over 1,000 subscribers, doing live streaming, which, yeah, I'm hoping I'll be able to do it from my iPhone or iPad, which right now I can't. How you doing, Kelly? Do you want a card? How about you, Rainy Daisy? Did you want a card? I have to find a good one. What's a good one? Maybe I feel like we need a unicorn card. That's what I feel. Unicorns always make things better, in my personal experience. Don't you agree? Unicorns are awesome. I think this unicorn is going to be for both Rainy Daisy and for Kelly and Denise. I don't know if you're still out there. I don't think so. But yeah, okay. This is going to be a unicorn. If I can get it to work. Okay. I got to really concentrate. Actually, I got to really relax. That's the key. That's the key to pulling the right card, is total relaxation, or close to that. Okay. What's the unicorn card going to be? It's this one. It's this one. Okay. Let's see. Oh, it's a good one. Let's see if I can get the lighting good. See what it is? Let's see. What's the best way to light it? It says compassion. You see it? It's a really sweet looking unicorn. Oh my, I feel it's like one of the most lovable looking unicorns I've ever seen. Truly. It says compassion. Be gentle with yourself. Forgiveness will set you free. See the light in yourself and others. Is that helpful? Compassion? A reminder to be compassionate with yourself? Let's see. Still figuring out the right lighting here. Maybe that's better. Compassion. These are shiny cards, so maybe that's better. Well, now you can sort of see it. Be gentle with yourself. Forgiveness will set you free. See the light in yourself and others. Isn't that the sweetest looking unicorn ever? Yes, Rady? How about you, Kelly? Do you like the unicorn you got? Is it a good one? Let's see. I feel there's just a straight up, well, maybe we're just going to go to fairyland since we're already on a roll here. And let's see. I just need to check something out here. Does this say how long? Oh, that's good. Yeah, I want to keep an eye on how long I'm on here. I'm just going to go another 10 or 15 minutes. And then I'm going to head over to Instagram Live, which is a whole different kind of technological experience. YouTube Live is interesting. I like it. I'm looking forward to what it could be. See, the one thing I've failed to do is to announce to my channel that this is happening. And in the future, I intend to give advance notice and perhaps schedule a regular time. I think that'll probably be helpful. This is kind of just how I'm checking out the tech, to be honest. But it's also cool to be with you. Oh, is somebody the Queen of Bedlam? Are you ever the Queen of Bedlam, either of you? Let me see if we could take a closer look. See, I don't have the best camera. That's why I want to be on a phone. I can't be on YouTube Live with anything except my laptop right now. Look at that. It's a cute little child. There's a fish there. And what else? There's a frog. And there's There's a lady with a crown. It looks like some kind of queen. I guess that's the queen in the background because she has the throne, and there's a moon scepter. I feel like the little one in the background is actually the Queen of Bedlam, and this is maybe her daughter. And there's a unicorn dressed as a knight. Do you see that? Wait a sec. I gotta go like this. Wait, there's the knight, the unicorn knight in shining armor. And there's a bunny in the back. There's a bunny in the back. Can you relate to this in any way? Anybody? No, there's no queens of Bedlam out there. Kelly, are you Queen of Bedlam? The daughter of the Queen of Bedlam? No, I think we need an animal. We need an animal. I'm going to show this one. This one came a little while ago. You are Rainy Daisy, absolutely. This is my favorite animal ever, the sea turtle. Turtle spirit says slow and steady wins the race. That's the ultimate spiritual wisdom of all time. I feel that's been my life strategy. Slow and steady wins the race. At times, I have not gone slow enough. That's been my experience. Like I've evaluated my choices afterwards, and I often say, I went too fast. That was too fast. I need to slow down. I need to slow down. Anybody else ever feel like they've gone too fast and then realized I need to slow down? Slower is better. Anybody agree with that? Slower is better? Is faster? Faster sometimes better. But slower is often better. Do you think? Anyway, sea turtles are amazing, right? They're the best. Look at that one. Have you ever seen a live sea turtle, the two of you? Kelly? Have you seen a live sea turtle? Like in the wild, swimming around? Any sea turtle encounters? I've had at least 2 in the wild. I'm trying to think if I had more than 2. I've had 2 major sea turtle encounters in the wild. And one that was in captivity in some kind of sanctuary where they were going to release the sea turtles. I think that was the idea. Oh, I picked another card. It's a good one. Check how pretty. It says grace. Are you graceful? Rainy Daisy? Are you graceful? It's pretty, right? I wish I had an HD camera. It says adornment, bring out beauty, elegance. The outer is a reflection of the inner. Vanity, charisma, self-expression. Well, it's clearly saying adornment, bring out beauty, elegance. I think it's a really important time to let yourself be beautiful, you two. To really enhance your beauty. I think we need to do that often. Try to really enhance it so we feel that we're even more beautiful than usual. That's what I think. Let me see if there's any astrology that I want to say. There's some really cool things happening this month. Like a lot of good stuff with Venus. I feel like right now it's in a square with Neptune. Venus square Neptune, and all the rest of the month it's in the square with Neptune, and it's going to go retrograde. Is it in 2 weeks? Wait a second. I want to check something. Okay. Oh yeah, this is what I'm doing. When does Venus go retrograde? Oh, right there, around May 14th. So yeah, it's in about a week. So basically right now, Venus has been moving around the sun faster than the Earth, and every 200 and wait a second, what is it? Yeah, it's every year and a half. Venus goes around the sun in 285 days, but the Earth is moving, of course, and so for it to go all the way around and then catch up with the Earth is like every year and a half, even though Venus's own cycle around the sun is less than our year. It goes around faster, and it takes a while to catch back up to the Earth and be at its closest point to the Earth in its journey around the sun. This is something I kind of learned, finally figured out in the last few days, last week. And um, anyway, this is when the planets go retrograde. They seem to move backwards. They seem to sort of slow down and not be moving as much or as fast as they usually do. And then they seem to go backwards against the backdrop of the fixed stars. And so what's happening in the case of Venus retrograde starting next week is it's it's getting very close to the Earth. It has been very close to the Earth. That's why it's been super bright in the western sky after sunset. It is right now. It might be like Kelly, if you're still here, up in Oregon after sunset. If you look to the west, you'll see an amazingly beautiful Venus. And so it's super, like, I don't know, like just the experience of being with Venus right now is like really special. Like just sitting up after sunset and, enjoying the sunset itself. And then if you just hang out another 30 minutes or less, Venus starts to become really clear. And then as it becomes totally dark, Venus is just standing out, just super bright. And I don't know, something clicked for me this week when I was studying different apps and my ephemeris, and I was just sort of in this astrology geek mode. And it's like I finally kind of spatially understood that that Venus is moving towards us, towards the Earth, catching up with us, and getting really close. And that's why she's so bright in the sky. And she's going to kind of move between the Earth and the sun. And that's when she's exactly at her closest to the Earth, where she has a conjunction with the sun. And that happens in about 3 weeks. And that's the halfway point of the Venus retrograde cycle. And that's when we're in perfect alignment, the sun and Venus and the Earth. It's a very special moment. And it's basically a time to, in your imagination, like first we're kind of taking it in visually right now. And it's not going to be too long before we're not going to, Venus will only be visible. It's going to be briefer and briefer each night. So, like, I don't know if it's been visible for like an hour and a half or more, or 2 hours even recently, but it'll kind of rapidly go down to an hour and then a half hour, and then I should really figure this out when exactly it's just not visible anymore, because that's like in different traditions, that's when like Venus goes to the underworld. It's like Venus kind of disappears from both the morning and the evening sky. And it's like, it's a profound moment for communing with Venus in a way when you no longer can see her. It's like there's a kind of longing that can go with Venus retrograde, perhaps, but a kind of longing for that visual communion. But on the other hand, it's like going into a deeper kind of intimacy with Venus and a kind of reflectiveness, and I think a deep meditation on love and the nature of love, and a kind of opening of the heart and a deeper potential for more deep and intimate experience with Venus and with all the things that Venus is about, whether that's love, the heart chakra opening, whether it's pleasure, beauty, art, music, the sweet aspects of life, the friendships and lovers that make life meaningful. I think this whole next month, well, during the entire period that Venus is retrograde, so we're Venus is square Neptune really strong right now, so it's already like big heart chakra open time. And in a week we move into Venus retrograde, and I think it goes for 4 weeks. And so for the next 5 weeks, it's like really important time for the Earth's connection to Venus and for Earthlings' experience on a consciousness level with the planet Venus and whatever her mysterious nature might be. And so I'm really encouraging a focus on Venus and an awareness too. Like, we can see her right now setting in the western horizon, and then she's not going to be visible um, for, gosh, I'm going to know these details next time. How long exactly she's not visible? I don't think it's that long. I don't think it's as long as a month. It might be, how much would it be? Yeah, maybe it is about a month where she's just not visible. Maybe it's a little longer even. But there's a few weeks, and I'm going to get clear on this. The details will be written below the box here, or in a future video. I'll get it clear. But there's a period where you're not going to see her in the setting sky, which has been so lovely to have her approaching us. And then she's going to pass us and start being a morning star. And at first, she's going to be a really bright morning star. And that's going to be so special, like when she comes back and you can get up before sunrise and it's like Venus is back, like in terms of seeing her. But at that point, she's actually kind of leaving, which I find interesting. She's leaving, she's getting further and further away from the Earth until she starts heading back around the other side of the sun and comes back to be close again, when she'll be an evening star again. There'll be another conjunction with the sun, but that one does not involve a retrograde period. And it's basically where Venus is not visible because she's on the back side of the sun. This retrograde period, she's not visible because she's on she's between us and the sun, but she's not visible because she's in alignment with the sun. That means she's only in our line of sight during the daytime and therefore not visible. Okay. Let's see. Look who came! Tiger came. Anybody like tigers? Tiger came. Oh my God, I love tigers. Tigers are definitely one of my big power animals. Ever since I had a big tiger dream in there were some early experiences that I had of psychotherapy where I worked with dreams, and I had a big dream with a tiger during that psychotherapy period. And so this says, tiger, fire, I choose to be unstoppable. My passion is my power. I am bold, I am brave. Mighty forces come to my aid. Yay. You feeling your tiger self? Is anybody out there anymore? Yeah. I'm going to let everybody know next time in advance. So, yeah. These next 5 weeks are just so huge for Venus. And so, yeah, really reach out to her and let her send her gifts to you. Let her be your lover. Let her open your consciousness in a special way. This is such a special moment in world history when we need love more than ever. And because Venus is love, she sees us, she understands that the earth is in a painful moment. And she's like, I'm here. I'm going to send you lots of love. I'm going to actually make it easier for you to open your heart and stay in love consciousness, to be looking at life through the lens of love. She's going to make it easier. And thank goodness. right? So we've got that going on, which I think is very helpful. And there's other things that I want to share in terms of a forecast for um, May and June. I'm going to make a video that's about May and June, but I wanted to get something out a little quicker, just if there's anybody that wants a little more of like what I'm focusing on, really focusing on Venus the next 5 or 6 weeks. But also, I do want to highlight that the next Council of Elders, the next return of the Council of Elders portal is in a week or so. So I just want to go to that on my chart here. And I just want to... Tasha, hi. We're just hanging out. I'm actually not going to be on much longer, but I'll draw a couple cards for you in a minute. Let's see. What am I doing? What am I doing? I'm just looking at next week. Yes, I'm looking at next week. And I'm trying, this is about where I want to be. May 11th, what's today? The 6th. So 7th, 8th, Friday, 9th, 10th is Sunday. So, yes. Yes. Let's see here. Yeah, I think starting the morning of May 11th, like before sunrise on May 11th, what I would recommend is going out to see this alignment. Now, one thing that's different about the Council of Elders portal this month, of course, it doesn't involve Mars, but it does involve Jupiter, Saturn, and Pluto. And this will happen every month for the rest of the year through December. Once a month, the moon will be conjunct Jupiter, Saturn, and Pluto for 2, 3 days or more. I'd say 2, 3 days is the focused period. But then, in a way, it's a little bit broader than that because it's such a huge energy all the time. It's just that when the moon comes onto Jupiter, Saturn, and Pluto, it gives an opportunity for like feeling more connected to the wisdom of the elders, feeling more connected and nurtured by it, feeling like held by it, feeling like Jupiter, Saturn, and Pluto are like sitters, wise sitters holding space for our inner process. And so I'm really focusing on these Council of Elders portals. We've gone through 2 with Mars. This is the first one without Mars. And there's now the situation is that Jupiter and Saturn are visible longer each night. Each week that passes, Jupiter and Saturn, which are very close together right now, they're only 4 or 5 degrees apart, and that's very close. When you see them in the sky, they're really close together. 5 degrees is not a huge range, and so it stands out that there's 2 bright lights that are on the same plane, the ecliptic, and I think it's pretty easy to spot them. You know, if you generally know where the sun rises and the arc that it traces through the sky to where it sets, or if you're kind of aware of, you know, where the moon rises and sets, it's that basic plane that we call the ecliptic that you're looking for these bright lights. You know, Jupiter is the brightest light in the sky after the sun, the moon, and Venus. So it's the 4th brightest light that you can find in the sky is Jupiter. And so once you find Jupiter, you don't have to look too far on either side to find Saturn, which happens to be the 6th brightest object in the sky. You got the sun, the moon, Venus, Jupiter. I think Mars is brighter than Saturn, so it's the 6th brightest object in the sky. But that's still super bright. That's why you can see. That's why you can see it easily here in a major urban setting with major light pollution. And so, starting next the 11th, get up really anytime. Let's see, like starting around 2 a.m. By 2 a.m., it's all Jupiter and Saturn have risen, actually by 1 a.m. So now as we get later in the year, the night owls are going to get a better shot in a way. of seeing it until it's basically visible all night. And it's not going to be that long before when the sun sets, Jupiter and Saturn are rising. And every month when the moon joins them, it'll be, right after sunset, it'll be the moon and Jupiter and Saturn. And that's what's going to be happening starting next on the 11th. So if you get up after, like, say, if you get up around 1 a.m., you'll see Saturn rising pretty soon thereafter, and Jupiter. And by 2 a.m., Mars is rising. And the moon, by the way, at 1 a.m., the moon is also there. So the moon, Jupiter, Saturn is rising by 1 a.m., and by 2:30, Mars is rising. And then all night from that point forward, they're visible. And before sunrise, say you get up an hour before sunrise at 5 a.m., they're directly overhead. So even if you don't have a great visibility of the horizons, if you can have some clear sky directly overhead at the high noon position, then it'll be easy for you to see the moon and Jupiter and Saturn when you get out, if it's a clear sky. And it's just so awesome to see three of the brightest lights of the sky. What did I just say? Three of the top six brightest lights all together. It was with Mars, it was four of the top six. Just wasn't Venus in there, or, well, the sun wasn't in there because you wouldn't be able to see them all if it was. So anyway, the 11th is next Monday morning, I believe, and next Tuesday morning is, let's see what that is basically. It's exact. The moon is exact basically on Saturn on the 12th, and then it's still there just further along on the 13th. Yeah, it's still going to be pretty relatively close. So 11th, 12th, and 13th, Council of Elders portal. Get out, see it, pray, commune with these elders for guidance, and Jupiter will help you stay positive. Saturn will remind you of your strengths and maturity and wisdom. Pluto will remind you of your depths and your power and your connection to nature. And yeah, it's a great time to both integrate what's been happening and envision the following month. The whole following month, you can have a kind of connection with the Council of Elders that helps you envision your month and integrate this previous month. So I think they're special opportunities. That's why I'm highlighting them. And I'm going to end this very soon, but I want to see if Tasha's still there. I just wanted to complete my thoughts. And whoever's here still, I'm going to spend a few minutes and I'm just going to draw cards and I'm going to hydrate. I'm going to hydrate. Tasha's still here. I'm going to find a card just for you, Tasha. You ready? This is especially for Tasha. This card goes out to Tasha, but to everybody watching. All cards are for everybody. The key with cards and planets is you commune with them. With planets, you look at them, and you also extend yourself on a spiritual level. And it's the same with cards, actually. You look at them, you extend yourself spiritually, and then you surrender to whatever guidance might come. And so here's the card that came for Tasha and everybody else. All right? Let me see if I can get the lighting good. It's hard. Let's see. These are highly reflective cards. Let's see here. Can you see that? It's kind of like, it's the Earth. Oh yeah, it's the Earth with a light grid all lit up. It's sort of like an image of the Earth with her chakras lit up. And in a way, it's sort of like the Earth. Yeah, now that I look at it, it's sort of like what it looks like when the Earth communes with Venus, which is what we've been talking about. When we Earthlings commune with Venus and she helps open up our global heart chakra, which is what I think Venus Neptune cycles of time are about, opening up our global heart chakra and the ways in which we as individual human consciousnesses are connected to a global consciousness, and our hearts are tied to the global heart. And when the fourth chakra opens, your light body opens. And that's what I feel this is. It's an image of the planetary light body opening, but it's your planetary light body, your body also opening on a light level. How's the best way to get this? See, it reflects. It's too much. Oh, wait. Oh, maybe that's a little better. You see it? It says, now what does it say? It says, dream a beautiful dream. Do you have a beautiful dream that you can focus on? See, I think it's important to have happy dreams as opposed to global nightmares. I think happy dreams are good to focus on. And to let yourself dream a beautiful dream, a beautiful dream of the future. I think that's worth dreaming of. And also a beautiful dream of the present. Now I feel like there's another card here, at least a couple. Maybe this one. The thing about this deck is it has matte surfaces. That means it shouldn't be quite as reflective. Still working out the lighting here. Here's a card. Oh look, I like this card. Do you ever feel like a cactus blooming? You know how desert cacti, they don't bloom every year in my experience. Like the cacti that I have in my home, they bloom not every year. And so it's like I have to water them right, I think, over extended periods of time. And I think it's the same in the desert. They have to be watered consistently over a season, I think, for the flowering to happen. So I think this is a message about hydration, and it's affirming that I did just take care of my hydration needs. But it's also that we need to be showered by love, and that's what Venus Neptune's all about, the showers of love. Yes, happy frequencies. It's so important that we figure out how to have happy frequencies when there's such a kind of heavy frequency tone that's also vying for our attention. You know, especially in the form of whether it's social media or mainstream media or whatever it might be, or through digital intermediaries, we get these kind of intense frequencies. And also sometimes the people that we choose to be around, any individual consciousness that we interact with, that frequency can impact our frequency. And it can be a good interaction or a not so good one. I find with certain forms of media, it kind of lowers my frequency. And so I have to find my own practices and choices that kind of raise my frequency and keep it kind of high. Right? Anna Altenfelder, do I believe that you thought about me today? I only saw it now. I will listen again to follow from the beginning. Nice to hear from you again. Yes, so nice to see you out there, Anna. I'm going to get better in the future of like letting people know that this is going to happen at a particular time rather than just jumping right on, which is what I did. I'm doing that because I think this is just sort of, what do they call it? Well, it's just a trial run. I'm just getting used to doing these lives on YouTube. I want to do them more in the future, and I want to do them at a higher level so that everything's really going smoothly. But the truth is, with live streams, there's sometimes tech issues, and that's why I'm practicing. But I know it's possible to like set a time that that you are alerted to when the live stream's going to happen. I think I can let that be known, like at least the same day earlier, but maybe sooner than that. Here's another card. Oh, look, Ten of Cups, everybody. This might be a good card to end on. Ten of Cups. What about that? Anybody know about the Ten of Cups? It's one of the happiest cards in the Tarot deck. and it's represented by butterflies here. Butterflies. Anybody feel like they're turning into a butterfly from all this? I do, kind of. I feel like the intensity of these last 6 weeks, it's kind of like, yeah, it kind of feels like it was like a death rebirth process. And that's what a butterfly goes through. What a caterpillar goes through, it goes through a death of its one form, and then it goes through a transformational biological process, and then it becomes something totally different. And it's, in my opinion, butterflies are cuter than caterpillars generally. And so it's all about becoming cuter. Okay, one last card, and then I'm gonna go over to Instagram Live if anybody wants to find me over there. This is I'll just show that I got another dragonfly in the other deck. It was sitting here. I hadn't shuffled it. Came earlier, but nevertheless, it's on my altar. That's 2 times dragonflies. We got this dragonfly here. At the beginning was the first card. And now this other dragonfly is saying goodbye. Goodbye, goodbye for the evening. It's been so fun, everybody. Take care, be well. I'm going to Instagram Live. It's a whole different trip. I'm going to have some music. There'll be some overlays. We'll have augmented reality. It'll be a little bit. I'm a little. It'll be different. I like Instagram Live. At some point I'm going to just share all my thoughts about my history with different publication platforms where I put out content. Because I basically, there's a few different platforms. I have my own personal website where I publish, where my blog is, and I have this YouTube channel, I have my Instagram channel, and I have Facebook. But I'm primarily focusing on putting out creative content on YouTube, Instagram, and on my personal website. So my Instagram channel, if you don't know it, is tarot underscore and underscore Lola. That's TAROT underscore AND underscore LOLA. That's for tarot cards and my bird Lola. So there's pictures of Lola, and I do a lot of tarot. I do some astrology on there, and it's just different. It's a little more laid back, a little looser, a little more playful. YouTube's a little more formal generally. I like live because it's a little more, it's a little more spontaneous. When I do different videos, I do them at different levels of editing and polishing, and there's different steps, and it takes longer for certain videos than others. And the thing about Instagram Live, it's the quickest way to get content out there, actually, when I think about it. YouTube Live is harder because I got to launch all kinds of programs, and I got to get codes. And there's this different interface, and it's more laptop oriented, and I just find the Instagram Live experience is just super user friendly. I literally have to hit a couple buttons and I go live, and it does all of everything. And so I am going to go there, and I don't publish as much on Facebook anymore because I feel that, I'd have to go into why, but I'm not focusing so much on Facebook. YouTube, Instagram, personal website, Stelz at stelz.biz, Matthew at matthewstelzner.com. If you could hit the like button, that helps me, and lots of love. Love to have you subscribe if you're just seeing this. If you haven't been on my channel before, love to have you aboard. Thank you. Blessings, blessings, love, light.